Wisconsin Public Service Commission's job is to figure out how much energy the state needs and how much utilities can charge for it. A global warming bill in Madison could affect both these areas greatly. It would require 25% of all electricity sold in Wisconsin come from renewable resources by 2025. 10% of all power must come from renewable resources in the state. It also would give the PSC the ability to raise new energy taxes by up to $700 million per year. So far, lawmakers behind the bill have heard many encouraging things from the PSC.
So I think the independent analysis by the experts at the Public Service Commission, the non-political civil service staff, was that the substitute amendment will be at least $1.4 billion savings.
But opponents to the bill say the PSC has not been independent and non-political. PSC Chair Eric Callisto has been very visible in his support for the global warming bill. In opponents charge he has crossed the line between regulator and advocate, and that brings into question everything the PSC has to say about the bill.
We are also directed today to a report that we got yesterday from a Public Service Commission that we know is completely, wholly, and 100% behind this legislation, and frankly would have written whatever was necessary to advocate on its behalf. Whether or not it is accurate is questionable. Whether or not it uses the same assumptions that we've had throughout it, because as we know, when we asked the Public Service Commission, we asked Chairman Callisto back in February for a specific outline of the actual costs, they really didn't come back with the costs that we were concerned about as far as the increasing costs to ratepayers, the economic impact this could have, the jobs that could be lost. None of those specific concerns were addressed by the Public Service Commission, and yet they proposed to say that, oh, all is fine now, on a report that we received yesterday.
In recent months, Callisto has supported political candidates for office, including giving a $200 donation to gubernatorial candidate Tom Barrett. Republicans tried to amend the global warming bill to stop PSC chairs from this kind of political activity, since they are supposed to be non-political.
This amendment establishes new provisions in the substitute amendment relating to political fundraising by public service commissioners. In particular, it establishes that no public service commissioner may solicit any contribution on behalf of a candidate for state or national office or the personal campaign committee or authorized support committee of such a candidate, and that no person who's a public service commissioner may host, endorse, sponsor a fundraising event on behalf of a candidate for state or national office or the personal campaign committee or authorized support committee of such a candidate.
Callisto is not the first PSC chair accused of becoming involved in partisan politics. Democrats accused Republican appointee Joe Mentner of it back in 1999. Representative Phil Montgomery cited that example when speaking in support of the amendment to the global warming bill.
I came into this great building back in 1999, and I'm going to divulge a little secret to you guys right now. Spencer Black is my hero. He has been.
Get in line, pal.
You've kept that secret well.
And will continue to be a beacon, a shining light.
Look into the left.
In the morass of legislatures. And interesting, looking back, while doing a little research, I came across a 1999 news article in which Chairman Black was quoted as saying, "The PSC has become very political under Tommy Thompson and very inclined to rubber stamp what the utilities want." 10 years later, we have a developing situation in which a legitimate question can be raised as to whether the PSC chair is inclined to rubber stamp what the Madison environmental lobby wants. In many respects, this legislation is a true power grab, with the PSC gaining extraordinary power. In fact, on page 52 of the 150-page bill, in layman's terms, says the PSC is bound by law to use its authority to implement the 25 by 25 RPS mandate and the $700 million increase in the energy efficiency tax. That's a lot of power in the hands of a gubernatorial appointee, and you all know what they say about absolute power. The mix of power in politics is something we all should be wary of, And it is for this reason I am offering this Let's Keep 'em Honest amendment, to make sure the PSC remains an independent agency whose decision-making is guided by policy and not politics.
That amendment was shot down by Democrats on the committee. The MacIver Institute attempted to contact PSC Chair Callisto for comment, but he did not respond. The global warming bill is scheduled to be taken up by the Assembly on Tuesday. For the MacIver Institute, I'm Bill Osmolsky.